Golf may be a gentleman's game, but it's seen its fair share of wild, unpredictable, and downright crazy moments. From miraculous shots to shocking controversies, here are the 10 most mind-blowing moments in golf history. This is crazy. Our team went deep into the archives, scouring sources like Golf Digest, Golf Monthly, and Essentially Golf to bring you the 10 craziest moments in golf history. And trust me, you won't want to miss number 1, a moment so unbelievable, it changed the game forever. Coming in hot at number 10. It's players versus fans. The PGA Tour is known for its calm, respectful atmosphere, but sometimes the serenity shatters when fans cross the line. At the 2024 Phoenix Open, things got way out of hand. Picture this: Zach Johnson, usually the epitome of composure, was lining up his shot on the 10th hole. Even before he stepped up, you could feel the tension. The crowd was rowdy, but one fan in particular just wouldn't quit. Between swings, this heckler kept throwing jabs, disrupting Johnson's focus. And finally, as Zach approached the next hole, the fans' relentless taunts pushed him to the breaking point. Johnson, clearly frustrated, turned around and snapped, yelling, "I'm sick of it, shut up!" This rare outburst shocked everyone. It wasn't just Zach losing his cool. Billy Horschel, another player known for keeping his calm, had his own run-in. When a fan interrupted his swing, he spun around and unleashed his frustration, demanding the crowd pipe down. And let's not forget Ricky Fowler, whose viral moment at the Players' Championship showed just how far fans can push even the most composed pros. Golf might look serene from the outside, but moments like these remind us that even the calmest players have their limits. And when fans cross the line, the gloves come off. Next up, number 9. The best comeback ever. Tiger Woods at the 2019 Masters. If you're a die-hard Tiger Woods fan, the 2019 Masters will forever be etched in your memory. It wasn't just a win, it was the comeback of a lifetime. Let's rewind for a second. Just 2 years earlier, Tiger was written off by almost everyone. Headlines plastered his mugshots everywhere. His body was failing him after multiple back surgeries, and his career seemed all but over. The greatest golfer of his generation was reduced to a shadow of his former self. But Tiger had other plans. Fast forward to the final round at Augusta. The leaderboard was stacked. Francesco Molinari held the lead with Brooks Koepka lurking close behind. But then, Tiger, channeling the dominance of his prime, started making his move. The turning point, the 12th hole, Golden Bell. Molinari's tee shot found the water, leading to a devastating double bogey. Suddenly, the door swung wide open for Tiger. On the 15th hole, Firethorn, Tiger sank a birdie and grabbed the lead as Molinari faltered once more. Then came the 16th Redbud and an iconic moment for the highlight reels. Tiger's shot landed just inches from the hole. A simple tap-in birdie cemented his command. And finally, the 18th. As the crowd roared louder than ever, Tiger sank his final putt. The scoreboard read 13 under par, just one shot ahead of the pack. This wasn't just a victory, it was a story of redemption. It marked his 5th Masters title, his 15th major championship, and an incredible 11 years since his last major win. Coming in at number 8. A Cinderella story. Sofia Popov's unbelievable British Open win. At the time, Sofia was ranked 304th in the world. Let that sink in. 304th. She had never won a senior professional event, and just the year before, she'd lost her LPGA Tour card. The odds, completely stacked against her. Her journey to Royal Troon wasn't even straightforward. The only reason she got into the British Open was thanks to a top 10 finish at the Marathon Classic, a tournament she barely made because higher-ranked players couldn't attend due to COVID-19. It was as if fate had set the stage for something extraordinary. And extraordinary it was. Sofia defied the impossible with a near-flawless final round, shooting 3 under 68 to secure a 2-stroke victory. She became the first German woman to win a major title, stunning fans, critics, and even herself. But here's where it gets even more remarkable. That win wasn't just a trophy for her shelf, it was life-changing. The $675,000 winner's check was more than 6 times her total career earnings up to that point. Now, if you thought that was intense, stay tuned for number 1, where an unbelievable event rewrote golf history and shocked the entire sports world. Now at number 7, hole-in-one, Jon Rahm's unbelievable shot. Picture this. It's November 10th at Augusta National Golf Club, and Rahm is taking part in the tradition of skipping balls across the water on the iconic 16th hole. He pulls out his 8-iron, strikes the ball perfectly, and it skips, not once, not twice, but 3 times, across the water, landing softly on the green. Now at this, next up, number 6, Charlie Hull's Solheim Cup stunner. In 2013, the odds were stacked against Hull. Not only was Creamer a household name in golf, but they were also playing on American soil with a home crowd roaring for their hero. But Hull? She wasn't fazed. She stepped onto the course with fire in her eyes, her European fans waving flags and chanting her name like it was the World Cup. And then, the fireworks began. From the first tee, Hull played fearlessly, her birdies dropping like magic. Every shot electrified the European fans, their cheers growing louder with each stroke. Meanwhile, Creamer struggled to maintain her composure as Hull dominated the course. By the time they reached the 14th hole, it was all but over. Hull drained a clinical putt to seal the match, 5-4, securing a victory that would make history, the first ever Solheim Cup win for Europe on American soil. Now this next one, at number 5, Phil Mickelson's President's Cup blunder. The year was 2015, the event, the President's Cup in South Korea. Day 2 of the competition, the atmosphere electric, and the US team locked in a nail-biting battle with the internationals. Then, out of nowhere, Phil Mickelson, one of the game's most seasoned and strategic players, makes a mistake so shocking that everyone watching was left speechless. So, what went down? Mickelson, playing alongside Zach Johnson in a 4-ball match, decides to switch to a firmer golf ball for his second shot on the par 5 7th hole. Harmless, right? Not exactly. Phil, thinking he was in the clear, forgot a critical rule. The President's Cup, unlike Ryder Cup play in the US, enforces the 1-ball rule. Players must stick with the same type of golf ball throughout the round. The penalty? A 1-hole adjustment. Just like that, Mickelson and Johnson go from being all square to 1 down. But hold on, it gets worse. A rules official, seemingly confused, tells Mickelson he's disqualified from the hole altogether. So what does Phil do? He picks up his ball, leaving poor Zach Johnson to fend off Jason Day and Adam Scott on his own. Predictably, Day wins the hole, and now Mickelson and Johnson are 2 down. It was a rare and head-scratching blunder from the usually unflappable lefty, proving even the best can get caught out by the rule book. We're coming closer to an end. What do you think is the craziest moment in golf? Coming in at number 4, Ernie Els versus the putter, the yip strike at Augusta. It was the very first hole of his round, the ideal time to set the tone and find his rhythm. A major champion with years of experience, Ernie approached the green with confidence, fully expecting to start his tournament on the right foot. But then, the unthinkable happened. As Els lined up his putt, likely envisioning an easy birdie or par, his first attempt rolled toward the hole, only to veer just wide. No big deal, right? A simple tap-in would fix it. But that's where things spiraled. Miss after miss, each attempt more perplexing than the last, transformed a routine putt into a golfer's nightmare. By the time Ernie finally holed out, he had taken an astonishing 6 putts on the green, carding a disastrous 10 on the opening par 4. Fans watching in stunned silence witnessed the dreaded yips take hold, even as Els, a champion with ice in his veins, tried to regain control. Next up is caddy issues at number 3. The eBay job posting that made golf history. Picture this. It's 2005, and the legendary Open Championship at St. Andrews is underway. Jack Nicklaus is bidding farewell to professional golf, a historic moment. Meanwhile, Australian pro golfer David Diaz finds himself in a bit of a pickle. He needs a caddy. But instead of going the traditional route, he does something completely out of left field. Diaz skips the usual circle of professional caddies and heads straight to eBay. Yes, you heard that right. He puts the job up for auction on eBay, and the golf world collectively scratches its head. It was probably the most creative or desperate job posting in golf history. So who wins this once-in-a-lifetime gig? Enter Stephen Bridle, a London banker with the username Looperboy. Bridle shells out a staggering $20,000 for the privilege of carrying Diaz's clubs at the Open. For that price, you'd think Bridle was getting the ultimate golf experience, right? Well, not quite. Diaz, committed to making the best of this wild situation, even hires a professional caddy to train Bridle for 90 pounds during a practice round. The banker turned caddy must have been on cloud 9, walking the iconic St. Andrews fairways and soaking in the atmosphere of golf's most hallowed grounds. Now this next one is a tale so shocking it feels like a Shakespearean tragedy. Number 2 is the greatest meltdown in golf history. Jean van de Velde, 1999 Open Championship. Van de Velde walks onto the 18th tee with a 3-shot lead. He's on the verge of becoming the first Frenchman to win the Open since 1907. All he needs is a double bogey, a simple 6, to hoist the claret jug. That's it. So what could possibly go wrong? Turns out everything. Instead of playing it safe with an iron off the tee, Van de Velde pulls out his driver. Why? Nobody knows. His tee shot barely clears the berry burn and lands in the rough. Not ideal, but still manageable. He could just lay up, wedge it onto the green, and 2-putt for a win. But no, Van de Velde decides to go for the green with a 2-iron. The ball ricochets off the grandstand railing, bounces off a stone wall, and lands in the thick rough. The crowd is stunned, but it's not over yet. Van de Velde chunks his next shot, and the ball plunges straight into the berry burn. And this is where it goes from bad to utterly absurd. Van de Velde removes his shoes and socks, rolls up his pants, and wades into the burn. On live TV, the Frenchman stands ankle-deep in Scottish Creek water, contemplating what would surely be the most insane shot in golf history. And now, the moment you've been waiting for. Taking the number 1 spot is perhaps the most heartbreaking and infamous moment in golf history. Let's rewind to the final round of the 1968 Masters. De Vicenzo had just played the round of his life, carding an incredible 65 and putting himself in prime position for a playoff with Bob Goalby. But then, disaster struck. Not on the course, but on the scorecard. Here's what happened. De Vicenzo's playing partner, Tommy Aaron, made a mistake. He marked De Vicenzo's score on the 17th hole as a par 4, instead of the birdie 3 that De Vicenzo had actually earned. The Argentine golfer, unaware of the error, signed the incorrect scorecard. Now, golf's rules are as rigid as Augusta's fairways. Once you sign your card, it becomes official. The mistake meant De Vicenzo's score was recorded as a 66, not the 65 he actually shot. That one stroke cost him a spot in a playoff with Goalby, who was subsequently declared the Masters champion. When De Vicenzo realized what had happened, his reaction was a mix of humility and heartbreak. He uttered the now famous words, "What a stupid I am." It was a moment that transcended golf, a gut-wrenching reminder that even the smallest details can have monumental consequences. Whether it's a rules gaffe, a putter gone rogue, or a meltdown for the ages, golf has given us some unforgettable drama. If you enjoyed this trip down golf's wild memory lane, make sure to give this video a thumbs up and share it with your fellow golf fans. And hey, don't miss out on more incredible golf stories, updates, and content. Subscribe to our channel for more amazing golf content, including legendary moments, player profiles, and tips to improve your own game.